What's going on, guys? Welcome back to BlackTideTV and the final installment in my Call of Duty Infinite Warfare Unique Epic Variant playlist. In this series of about 4 videos now, I'll link them all in the description down below if you've missed any, I've been going through the weapons and variants in Call of Duty Infinite Warfare, using them as inspiration for my own unique designs on epic variants. Epic variants are something of an entirely different class when you look at variants as a whole in Call of Duty Infinite Warfare, and really Call of Duty games in general. The epic, elite, exotic variants are always very, very special, whereas professional or legendary or rare or enlisted variants, they aren't as special, they're just little modifications made to the base weapon. The elites, the exotics, the epics, these are the ones that are completely different, and so you can go completely crazy, go bonkers, and make whatever you want to make as long as it somewhat fits into the style of the original weapon. So I've basically taken a bunch of ideas from you guys, from the internet, from my own brain, and I've come up with some crazy epic variants, and in today's video we're looking at the DLC weapons. In the other videos I've refrained from talking DLC because I wanted to see more variants from the base in-game weapons, but in today's video, it's finally time. I'm going to go through the DLC weapons, or at least some of the DLC weapons that have been added. I have 6 variants for you in today's video. The first being the VPR 4x4 or the VPR Claw. I haven't exactly nailed down what I want to do with this one, because there are 2 different options here, but they're both very similar. If it were to be the VPR 4x4, this would basically look like a VPR with 2 barrels on top and 2 barrels underneath, 4x4. It would be absolutely insane, all 4 barrels firing at once, and of course the balance for this is that the magazine size does not increase, so even though you're firing twice as many bullets, you're going to be reloading twice as fast, and even the reload might even slow down because you might have to load 4 magazines into the weapon. The other option for the VPR Claw is to make it look a lot like the Claw does already, like a duck foot pistol, which were real things if you didn't know that, where there's 4 barrels all side by side, kind of like spread out so that they fire in different directions, just like the Claw does. I think that would be absolutely ridiculous. It would be hilarious to see people using that weapon, just spraying it around corners. It would be disgustingly toxic, and I would love that. The next one I have is very, very inspired by Call of Duty Ghosts, and you'll find that a lot of the variants in today's video are inspired by previous weapons in Call of Duty series, basically built into the newer weapons. The Axe Slasher, of course, it's going to have the Maniac Epic perk. This is inspired by Ghost's Michael Myers. If you've never played the DLC for Ghost, there was one map in particular where you could become Michael Myers and run around with an axe. Kills will increase your health and your movement speed for a small amount of time. I've basically come down to this. Every time you earn a kill, you instantly get 50 HP added to your character. No matter what, you instantly regen half of your health, and that's stackable. So if you were at full health and you get a kill, you are now at 150. If you get 2 kills, you're now at 200. Now that only lasts for about 10 seconds, as does the increase in movement speed. You'll move at about 110% movement speed whenever you get a kill, so you'll move a lot faster. That one does not stack. Once you get a kill, that's all you get. You get 110%. Next up, I've got the Augur Sentry. This one is kind of inspired by the Scorpion turret in Borderlands. So when you're using the Augur, you're going to use the Reinforce Epic perk. When you aim down sights, you're going to drop an impenetrable energy shield that restricts your movement. You won't be able to move when you're aiming down sights. However, your head and your back will be exposed. The shield will cover the rest of your body in kind of like a frontward facing shield that's going to protect you and 2 allies that can stand right next to you. It's also going to restrict your field of view so that you can't see as much, you can't turn as much and engage enemies on a sharper angle. So this one's going to be very balanced in that you're going to want to use it on objectives. You just drop it down and you can protect a certain area. The UDM 2000, of course you're seeing the UDM Stalker in today's video. The UDM 2000 is very much inspired by the PP 2000 from Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2, my favorite Call of Duty game of all time. I found that the UDM closely resembled the PP 2000, so we're going to make it into the PP 2000. It's going to have an increased fire rate, it's going to have that classic PP 2000 iron sight, and it's going to have decreased damage and range. So it's firing a little bit faster, but it's going to do a little bit less damage. So instead of a 3-shot kill, it's going to be a 4 to 5-shot kill. the Stallion 12 gauge. This one is somewhat inspired by a fan of the show, Scorpion. There was a couple people that suggested this, but he was the first, and I was already working on this at the time when he did suggest it. The Stallion 12 gauge is pretty much inspired by the Executioner from Call of Duty Black Ops 2. One of the most hated guns of all time, but I found it really fun to use. It was wacky, it was stupid, and so that's what we're turning the Stallion into. The Stallion, of course, is that new revolver. It's going to fire 12 gauge shotgun shells, one-shot kill at close range. However, because the shotgun shells are still going to be fitting into the same cylindrical barrel, you're not going to be able to load as many. So you're not going to get 6 shots with the shotgun shells, maybe 3 to 4, maybe even 2. We might have to drop it off to. But you're going to have less ammo, very high damage shotgun shells at close range. The final variant I have for you today is one that a lot of people have been asking for. A lot of people wanted to see this variant take its place under the NV4. However, I had a different idea because I was making this DLC video. The X-Eon, believe it or not, looks very similar to the Honey Badger from Call of Duty Ghosts. And it would make more sense if you made the X-Eon into the Honey Badger rather than the NV4. So I went ahead and I made the X-Eon Striker. If you didn't know, in one of the previous games to Call of Duty Ghosts, there was a Striker called Honey Badger. So I kind of mixed the two together. It's called the X-Eon Striker. It's got the HB Epic perk, and it's basically going to look a lot like the Honey Badger. It's also going to have standardized iron sights, the Honey Badger iron sights, and an integrated next-gen suppressor that basically doesn't even make a sound. It's extremely little audio output, extreme suppression, so that you can't even hear the weapon firing yourself. It'll be an insane suppressor, something that we've never seen, and it will be really interesting because it's an energy weapon. We can make it really wacky like that. We can make it something futuristic. But those are all of my DLC variants in today's video, guys. I hope you enjoyed it. Let me know what your DLC variants would be in the comment section down below. Hit the like button, subscribe, and I'll catch you guys on the next video.